Hey everyone, we're back with another episode of Coffee with a Counselor. It's Miranda, professional counselor and owner here at Restorative Pathways Counseling. And today's video is a follow-up on Monday's video, which was answering the question, why do I stress about everything and how do I stop? So today we're going to be giving 5 tips to help you manage your stress, and we are just going to jump straight into that. So the first tip is to focus on what you can control. If you haven't watched our video from Monday or read our blog post, I would really recommend that you go do that, read or watch, and that'll give you more information on how to focus on what you can control and accept the things that you can't control. Tip number 2 is to practice deep breathing. This is a relaxation technique that I teach to a lot of my clients that are looking to manage stress, manage anxiety. And so what I teach is called box breathing or square breathing. And essentially, to kind of cover that quickly, if you imagine we're breathing in a square, you're going to breathe in through your nose, breathe out through your mouth, and we're going to breathe in counts of 4. So you would inhale through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4 counts, exhale through your mouth for 4 counts, and hold that for 4 counts. And you would continue to do that for about 2 to 5 minutes until you started feeling more relaxed and calm in situations. This is a really good technique for relaxation because you can do it anywhere. You can do it in class, you can do it in the car, you can do it at dinner. Anytime that a situation starts to get overwhelming, this is something that you can practice to trigger a relaxation response in your body if you're feeling overwhelmed. So the third tip that I would give everyone to manage their stress would be to practice meditation. I get a lot of sometimes resistance on this because people don't quite understand what meditation is or what the purpose of it is. And so I'm actually going to do maybe a follow-up video on this and a demonstration of our product, the Muse headband, which is a biofeedback headband for meditation. So I'll talk a lot more about this later. But in the meantime, if you want to check out meditation, there are a lot of free apps out there that do guided meditations. One that I've used myself is called Mindfulness. There's Headspace, there's the Calm app. So there's a lot of different ones that you can kind of experiment with if you want to check that out until we come out with our next video and blog post. Tip number 4 is manage your time well. I think this is a really big one, and I'm going to give you kind of 2 mini tips in this one. The first one is say no more often. I think it's really common that we say yes to things just out of a sense of obligation rather than considering, do I actually want to do this? Is this something that will help me get towards my goal, or is this something that fills me up? Or am I just doing this because I feel like I need to and I don't have any other option? So I would say really be cautious of what you're saying yes and what you're saying no to. Take into consideration that when I say yes to one thing, I say no to everything else. And so when you have an opportunity to say yes to something, kind of check that and make sure, if I say yes to this, what do I have to take off of my calendar? What will I not get to do if I'm saying yes to this one thing? And practice caution with that. And the other tip that I would give in time management would be to find some kind of time management system that works for you, whether that be a planner or using your phone calendar. Practice putting things into your calendar, writing them down so that you don't have to keep them in your mind. I have a lot of clients who get really stressed out and overwhelmed because they're simply just trying to think about too many things and keep too many plates spinning, and our brain can only handle so much. We only have so much of a capacity. So if you can find a system that works for you, I use a paper planner, but I also keep a to-do list in my phone. And so this is another activity that you can kind of do with time management, is to do what's called a brain dump. And so I have a running to-do list in my phone, just in my reminders app. And anytime that I'm thinking of something, I stop, I write it down on my phone, and what that allows me to do is let it go. Once it's in my phone, I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to worry about, did I forget something? And then all I do is I might visit that at least once a week, and then I'll kind of create my running to-do list for the week of all the things that I want to get done, and all of those items come off of my brain dump. So finding a good time management system. And finally, tip number 5 would be implementing self-care. I kind of define self-care as anything that is going to fill you up. So there are things that I do to just mindlessly escape, like diving into Netflix, but there are things that I do intentionally with a purpose to replenish myself, to refuel, to make sure that I have enough energy to manage stress, and those things would be considered self-care. So getting into a good self-care routine I'm going to post a blog post tomorrow with these 5 tips, and I'll go into more detail, and I'll post a few worksheets. I'll post one that has some self-care ideas that you can practice. We did an Instagram series a while back that had some self-care ideas that you can check out, but I'll post that tomorrow in the blog post. And before we get off of here, I'm going to give everybody a challenge, and the challenge is to pick one of these 5 tips and to commit to practicing it consistently for the next 7 days and to see if it helps manage your stress levels at all. So we would love to know what tip you are choosing, what tip you're committing to practicing. If you want to comment below, send us a private message. Also, if you have any questions or topics or ideas for future episodes, we would love to know those. We're open to any ideas that any of you have, so comment below or send us a private message for that as well. Make sure you check out our blog post tomorrow with more information that goes along with these 5 tips. And if you haven't seen yet, we did a post right before this live video that is asking about your favorite local charities and organizations. We would love to give back to the community. We're looking for ways to do that, and one of those ways that we want to support other organizations is to possibly do a t-shirt fundraiser with our apparel and give all of the proceeds to that organization. So make sure you tell us what your favorite charities and organizations are in the Zanesville-Muskingum County area that we could help support. We would love to know that. All right, so that's all for today's episode. I hope to see you guys soon.